You know what's interesting? Most people talk to AI like they're texting their friend at 2 a.m. Write my essay about Romeo and Juliet. And then they wonder why they get back something that sounds like it was written by a robot who skimmed Wikipedia for 5 minutes. But here's what I've noticed. The students who are actually getting incredible results from AI, the ones whose essays sound thoughtful and personal, they've figured out something the rest haven't. They've learned how to have a real conversation. Think about it this way. Imagine you're working on a paper about climate change, and instead of asking your smartest friend, "Do my homework," you sit down with them and say, "Hey, I'm trying to understand how rising sea levels specifically affect coastal communities in Bangladesh. I read this article about families having to relocate, but I'm struggling to connect that to the broader economic impacts. What questions should I be asking?" That's a completely different conversation, right? Your friend can actually help you think through the problem instead of just doing the work for you. AI works the exact same way. The magic isn't in the tool, it's in how you approach the conversation. So let me share what actually works. First, start with context. Don't just say, "Proofread this." Instead, try something like, "I'm a high school junior writing a persuasive essay about social media's impact on mental health. My audience is my English teacher who values clear arguments backed by evidence. I want this to sound thoughtful but not overly academic. Can you help me make my introduction more engaging?" See the difference? You've given the AI a role to play, a clear understanding of your situation, and specific guidance about what you're looking for. Here's another approach that works incredibly well. Use AI as your thinking partner, not your replacement. When I'm stuck on an essay, I'll often write something like, "I'm trying to argue that renewable energy is economically viable, but I keep getting caught up in all the technical details. Help me step back and think about the strongest 3 points I could make to convince someone who's skeptical about the cost." Now, the AI isn't writing your essay, it's helping you organize your own thoughts. That's the sweet spot where you're still doing the real intellectual work, but you've got a really smart sounding board. And here's something most people miss entirely. AI is fantastic at helping you improve work you've already started. Instead of asking it to write from scratch, try this. "I wrote this paragraph about the causes of World War I, but it feels choppy and hard to follow. Can you suggest ways to make the flow between ideas smoother?" Then you take those suggestions and rewrite it in your own voice. The students who get caught for AI-generated work, they're usually the ones who copy and paste whole paragraphs. But the ones who use AI as a conversation partner, who iterate and improve their own ideas, their work actually gets better and more personal, not less. Think of it like this. You wouldn't go to a basketball coach and say, "Play the game for me." You'd ask them to help you improve your shot, to point out what you're doing wrong, to suggest new strategies. AI works best when you treat it the same way. One more thing that makes a huge difference. Be specific about what kind of help you want. Instead of "make this better," try, "This paragraph has 3 different ideas, but they don't connect well. Can you suggest transition phrases that would help it flow?" Or, "I want to add more evidence to support this point. What kinds of examples or statistics should I be looking for?" The more specific you are, the more useful the response will be. Here's what I want you to remember. The goal isn't to use AI to avoid thinking. It's to use AI to think better, to push your ideas further than you could on your own, to catch problems you might miss, to help you see your argument from different angles. When you approach it that way, something interesting happens. Your writing doesn't just get better grades, it gets better, period. You start developing the kind of critical thinking skills that actually matter, whether you're writing an essay or making decisions in your career 20 years from now. The conversation skill you develop with AI today, that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. Because learning how to ask the right questions, how to give clear context, how to iterate and improve, those aren't just AI skills, they're thinking skills. And that's something worth mastering.